Hello, listeners of the airwaves, and if you're live, hello, peoples of the internet, and welcome to the second ep- uh, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, you can hear me in the background. Please, new, and welcome to the second episode of the MegaCast, a podcast or podcast, if you wish, about me and whoever I bring on discussing topics, just topics. I'm your host for always, Cameron Green, or you may know me as the J Critic for various places. And with me today, well, Josh is at prom at the moment, as you've read in the description. So I brought on Jacob from the Legion of Boom. Well, not actually the Legion of Boom podcast, but he does hang around various Discord servers.
Thank you for having me.
Anyway, yeah, today was kind of a bit of a rush to get on because I had to draw the thing as fast as I can. This is all I could come up with. But what have you been doing this past week and months?
I mean, not really much. I've been getting into more Ultraman and going a bit more Kamen Rider, just that kind of stuff. It's just been the more that stuff trying to bring more of a taste into my tokusatsu obsession, you could say.
Yeah, especially with well, something that you just well, let's just I don't know to do words, and my brain is just having a fart at the moment. So let us dive into the topics of this week, which as you read the title, our main topic is probably going to be the biggest thing which happened this week. Brooklyn Nine-Nine got cancelled and then renewed. Now, I've never heard of this series until now, but apparently it's actually really good, and there was like a big and there was apparently a big, outrage by fans of the show to actually get it to let it run for as long as it wanted. But
I honestly don't know what that is. Like what the show's about. Is it like an anime?
no, it's a drama show.
Okay, drama shows can be nice.
And it was and it had people that I have absolutely no idea. No idea. I know that some people are in it as like guest stars, but Fox cancelled it and greenlit another 2 seasons of Big Bang Theory, and just today it got renewed by NBC, so that's gonna be a thing.
Well, hey, NBC can do it. You know it.
But let us dive in, because you already mentioned anime, because I don't know if you like or hate it. We're gonna dive into the anime of this season because the quarters of the year are season. So January to March is the winter season. April to June is the spring season. July to September is the summer season, and then October to December is the fall season. And man, were there a lot of shows that I forgot to talk about last episode because, well, because Josh has like a no anime policy on his videos. So
I mean, we've been watching Digimon, which has been fun.
yeah, that's been fun, but these are animes that you may not have heard of, and I tried to watch episodes of, or tried to continue watching the episodes, but unfortunately I was distracted by other things. And if you watch my previous video, not the previous podcast, but the video I uploaded yesterday, then you probably already know where I've been spending my time. But anyway, let us dive into the anime with My Hero Academia, which is a really good show. It's basically that that Disney movie Sky High. Well, they just turned it into an anime, but with actually characters you love.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, and there are a few people that you may know. For example, the person who voices the Mobiles, it voices one of the characters in it.
Ooh.
And yeah, there's a ton of recognizable names both in Japanese and English dubs. Okay, next anime is well, since you already mentioned it, Digimon, since the final Try movie came out last week.
Yeah, and they just announced pre-orders by Shaw Factory for the next one.
For the fifth one or the sixth one, because I don't know.
I think it's the more recent one. I could be wrong.
And when it came out, there was also a new project announced, which is probably going to be continuing on from Try, since there was a ton of unanswered questions in the finale.
I'm gonna probably watch Try eventually, actually, since I've been getting into Digimon.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Legion of Boom for hosting Digimon, for hosting the first season of Digimon, and they're only gonna watch the dubs, no sub, which means I really need to catch up on the Frontier subs, because I dropped off like halfway through. But yeah, actually, speaking of collectible monster things, Yokai Watch came back with a new thing called Shadow Side, which takes place 30 years after the original series, where the hang on, sorry, I really needed a drink before it came on, so sorry. And there's only one person.
30 years after.
30 years after, yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, because there was a movie that led into the series that came out last December, the same weekend when Last Jedi came out. And I know when The Force Awakens came out, the second Yoko Watch movie sold well, it oversold Star Wars The Force Awakens in ticket sales, but not worldwide. Also, I don't know if you can hear. No, it's oh, yeah. But
I didn't even see
anyway,
Force Awakens.
wait, what?
I haven't seen Force Awakens. I'm not one Star Wars fan who wasn't caught up.
And speaking of
That's a
Star
bad
Wars,
thing.
Solo came out this week in California, and is gonna be and that's gonna be a thing and it's gonna be released worldwide in on the 25th. But getting back to Yokai Watch, the movie also had a crossover with another anime called Gegege no Kitaro, which this year marks its 50th anniversary. And the main character of Kitaro is voiced by the same person who voices Goku in Japanese. Please excuse that background noises, people. But interesting note about the Shadow Side movie is that Gosei Red from Gosei voices one of the characters.
That is interesting.
Mm. Mm. But in the series, they had to use a lot of the TV, the TV anime voice actors. So you have Yurisen's voice acting taking over the main central character who is female, and then you also have Haruka-san, which they can't let her go from voicing like the main character from the first installment, and then voicing the little brother of the main character in the second installment. And then you also have the voice of the Mobirat, the and also the voice of the main mascot, voicing like a side character in it, if that makes any sense to you. And it's gone from a Pokemon like thing into a shonen series with that's on the same level as Kitaro, as I just said.
I just looked up the ratings. It has an 80% of Rotten Tomatoes and 79% of people who liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem like it was a bad movie. I would have to check it out.
Yeah. But anyway, in more anime news, Batman Ninja, which I'm counting as an anime because it was made in Japan, came out. It looks interesting, but I think they saw those stylized Batman's samurai, Star Wars samurai figures. If you saw them on with various images, and we thought, and someone at DC thought, hey, maybe we can do that, but with Batman.
So it's literally Batman as a ninja.
Yes, and it just plays out as every typical Batman thing. There's crime to be solved. There's crime is about Batman must go and punch people in the face, probably really, really hard. And already Bandai are releasing SH figure arts of Batman and Joker in their Japanese form.
That is interesting. Excuse for the clapping. Today's been a good day on me. Lots of great things happening.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, I just want to that Actually, I just want to hang on. I go to screen share. That means I can. There, I don't know if you can see it, but oh, it just doesn't. Okay, sure. There, I think it's working. Look, there's yourself, and here's the document, which you can see the thing. Hang on, I need to turn down the volume because of reasons. And no one's watching besides me because basically this was very last minute. So, but I do apologize. But yeah.
Well, people will see it afterwards.
Yeah, I will tweet it out. And I just realized that you can see it, so I'm gonna stop the screen sharing thing and just But in more interesting news, Persona got an anime. Well, Persona already, but the more recent Persona game, Persona 5, has recently got an anime. if you've seen Lupin Ranger versus Parter Ranger, then just think of it in anime form, but they don't transform into spandex-colored superheroes. And it also involves demons and stuff. But yeah. Again, but anyway, I'm trying to find of interesting things to talk about.
I mean, you could always talk about the Hasbro and Power Rangers thing.
Yeah, we already did that last episode.
You did that? Okay.
But I think that's for interesting stuff in anime, unless if I want to but moving on to moving on to movies. Again, new Star Wars movie has been announced. The Kenobi the Obi-Wan movie is now a thing called Kenobi.
Actually, I did hear about that.
I mean, it would be interesting. I mean, I'm gonna go see it anyway because I like Star Wars.
I mean, it's a great idea to always push boundaries within Star Wars with other important characters, just to try to bring more out with that character and more development.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've always seemed to, find great about when like you have a franchise and you have all these characters and they start making movies about them. If the characters are that important, to bring more out there to make more fans.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I've always enjoyed. When I see those kinds of spin-off movies.
I mean, I thought Rogue One was okay, and well, and the same is going to go for the same for like the Solo movie coming out in 2 weeks' time. But also coming in. Well, I forgot what the date was, so I'm gonna look it up. Oh, coming out next week, Deadpool 2.
Hey, it reminds me, you gotta drink that the Mike's Hard lemonade I have in the fridge. Deadpool is the mascot in the can.
That's good. That's good.
I got to see Deadpool 2. I thought the first one was great.
Yeah, I've heard everyone's praises for it. I didn't see it when it was first released.
I didn't either. Actually, I saw it illegally on Facebook with Korean subtitles.
But the tagline for the movie was "From the studio that killed Wolverine." That just makes me laugh. Both, it's a double meaning because of the Origins movie as well as Logan. But I'm not interested in the X-Men movies, so I don't know if Wolverine is coming back.
I have no clue. I've never followed the X-Men movies. The only thing that followed X-Men was the 90s cartoon, which ran besides on the side of with Mighty Morphin back in the 90s. And that's a good damn cartoon. You better watch it.
Yeah, I will get to it at some point.
Really great cartoon. Really great development and character arcs.
Mm-hmm. And also, yeah, the 90s Marvel things had this weird thing, which again I need to look up. After this, I'm probably gonna go get a drink, even though I already had one. Let's see.
I
But
just
yeah,
generally like Deadpool.
it was the 90s one ran alongside the Iron Man 90s cartoon, the Fantastic Four one, and the Spider-Man one.
Talking about the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, the one from the 90s. I know it because of I know that because of a certain thing showed up on Twitter a year ago, I think, where mm, it was let me try the where it was a crossover from the Spider-Man show and Gambit and Wolverine and I think Cyclops showed up in an episode. But anyway, that we may come back to movies, but for now we're just moving on to Toku for this week. Anything? Did you watch anything from Lupin versus Pato or Bill this week?
I watched both. That's the thing that I've made it a tradition. I think since Kyuryuger, I think might it was either Kyuryuger or Gokaiger that made that tradition. But I felt like Lupin Ranger versus Patsu Ranger was good, but I think Build was the one thing that really got me hyped. That whole episode was just ridiculous.
But in terms of important things happening, um, Evolt begins his phase 2 as he possesses a certain someone and goes into dragon form.
Yeah, that was something I thought that was pretty crazy, but it's still
Well, at least I know
interesting.
now how rabbit form is gonna do stuff. And as we learned from various reviews videos from the Evolve driver, is that there's a new evolution between Tank, Lock, and Dinosaur.
I actually did not hear about that. Hmm. Interesting. I do need to buy a couple of the build drivers though. I keep telling myself to do it, even though I'm
I
not done with any of the X8 stuff.
I skipped the build driver because it really didn't do much for me. I mean, you only get 2 bottles with like the thing. That's only good enough for like 3 sounds.
I mean that is true. I
And
mean,
you
it was a
need to
good
buy
piece of
like 60. You need to buy, but to be make it worth it, you need to buy as many bottles as you can.
Oh, I mean, I would be buying the important stuff.
Mhm. Actually, speaking of imports, I did find something on a French gaming website where they had space the Tamashi Lab laser blade from Gavan up for sale.
Mm, it's pretty cool.
So yeah, if I ever go to France, I'm definitely gonna get that. Um, oh, we had a new Kamen Rider trademark for this week. Gio.
You sure it's not a ZO?
And people are just, but all we just have is a name. Everything from until we get official story or images, it's just speculation. I mean, some people have jokingly said that it could be a rock themed rider, and all I could just say was prepare for the Rock Lords, which is a reference to like the GoBots movie.
Yeah, I won't have any idea until we find out. Um,
From what I remember from build scans last year, we're gonna get it around we're gonna get geo scans around July. Unless if they decide to do them earlier.
that shall be exciting. Um, no, the interesting question I've always had, I've always wanted to ask this to people who watch Lupin versus Pato. Do you think it's coincidental that we have a bunch of old Super Sentai props is the treasures.
Yeah, I don't get that. I mean, um, I guess they could have. I mean, the reason why I guess they're doing that is because they have a bunch of props that are rotting in like their warehouse, and so they have to repaint them and like do them up so they can like be on thing in the museum or something.
You don't think they're doing it to try to hype something, do you? I mean, because we're almost out of it's aren't we on like the Heisei era right now?
Yeah,
Because like for one, I mean that could be something because I mean we are basically ending the Heisei era this year.
yeah.
I mean that could be like they're trying to do like some nod to end the Heisei era, or do you think something's going to happen where they're going to announce something ridiculous?
Pos. I mean, I wanted a Q Ranger versus Zyuohger as well as many other people, and when they didn't announce it, I was like, ha ha ha. I was like laughing, and all the hardcore Zyuohger fans were like crying, um, and looking at various images of like the cast saying, "Why won't you come back? Why?" And all I
I
can just
wouldn't
like,
have I wouldn't have mind the crossover. I think that the two teams would make a good pair.
I mean, because you have 12 members and seven if we include Bud.
That is true. And somehow, if they pull a stick out of their ass and Condor is included, that's sarcasm.
Hmm. Well, and plus, each Sentai team up had to have like the mechs combine. I mean, how are you gonna get cubes combining with like Q to margin? Unless if they do like a CGI trick where they have like the
it
cubes and
would it really wouldn't work. The whole
yeah,
cube
mainly
thing,
because the
Q
cubes are
Thomas.
too big.
It would
Or
make
unless
more.
the duo and plus they're 10 cubes and doing 12 Q Tamar and Q to margin.
I mean, it would make more sense if it was Go Busters and Go Onger trying to do a mech combination.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's just coincidental that pay that the Go on your arms can just plug into the Go Busters.
I'm just saying by theme wall, kind of between the themes and just like the idea of it.
Hmm.
Because
But
yeah, I see you see it. There's no way cubes and Qtamas can fit together.
unless if the duo just hitch a ride within the Q Tamar cockpits or help with the Orion Battler cannon thing.
Hitch or Ryan, they just use their own powers. It's the best thing I got.
Hmm. But anyway, the Amazons movie is coming out like 1 week from today.
Oh, I'm hyped. I can't wait.
I only have seen one episode of Amazons, and from what I saw, it was okay, not good, not bad, just okay.
If you actually watched it and then watched season two, like a little after, I think you kind of get a better idea of it. It is slow. It's definitely a slow show when you start it.
Hmm.
That was my problem. I thought this was slow at first. I went and rewatched it, and I had no problem after it started explaining everything.
Hmm.
It's just season two kind of really hits you.
Hmm. Yeah, because I heard it from a lot of people that season two is really bad.
It's not exactly bad, but it hits too many markers to where it doesn't exactly make as much sense.
Hmm.
It just leaves you confused. That's the problem. It leaves you too confused.
Yes.
That's why I assume they're making the movie is to
to
kind of
make
give the
up for
fans something.
flaws.
Yes, that's exactly right. They're just trying to make up for it.
And plus we already have an Amazon with like a chainsaw weapon. And already he's getting a figure art along with the Crow Amazon.
Yay, more figure art.
Yeah, and yeah, I think I already said this, but we're at the point where that the amount of web exclusive figure arts has outnumbered the standard release of figure arts.
That always bugged me. I never liked having like web exclusives because like sometimes I would understand if they're like special or something, but if they're just a character, why you make them a web exclusive? Just an ordinary character from a show, an important character.
Yeah, I don't get that. And plus, they're obvious that, and plus, it's obviously going to be sold on later, like through stores or something.
I should buy some figure arts. I have a comic store up the street where we can buy some.
Yeah, yeah. I only have like 9 figure arts, and they're all Sentai. I really need to get a right of figure art at some point.
I only have two.
Yeah, but moving on to Ultraman. If I don't know. Oh, has any news come out for Ultraman Rube R/B this week? Because I don't know. Because I think I forgot. I
I
mean,
don't think any news came out for it. I mean, a couple weeks ago, some news did come out.
yeah, I mean, we had the cast photos and stuff. But okay, so moving on to a thing that is really obscure, Maji Mojo Pures, the sequel to Idol Senshi Miracle Tunes. It's basically the same, but they don't sing, and I don't think they even I don't think they even punch or kick. They just use overused in CGI special attack go or something.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It's basically Precure, but real life, but they don't have the action.
Okay.
Oops. Okay. Let me just quickly look it up. Oh, I found the synopsis. Momoka is a first-year middle school student on her way to an entrance exam. She witnesses Rin and Mitsuki fighting. She meets the mascot for the team, Mokonyan, which is totally not related to Jibanyan because stuff. Who then leads her to the Tiara's jewel shop with certain happenings. She transforms into a Magi Mojo Pure and has to fight in order to protect people's dreams from the Jama Jama Tan.
I think of Jamma Jamma. I think of the oh God, what was that? Was that the ribbit thing?
Oh, the gun from Ninja.
Yeah, when it's like a
The
special
Gamma
attack along ribbit, something like that.
Get out. Yama Ninja Ichiki. But
Now,
yeah,
speaking
that's
of Volt,
pretty much every single Toku I covered. So yay, and Now we're moving on to stuff that Bandai has announced.
Oh boy, Shady Bandai.
And well, they announced the Root of a Soul full bottle with a T-shirt.
Wait, when you buy a full bottle, you get a T-shirt. Or do
No,
you buy the
when you
T-shirt?
buy the T-shirt, the full bottle is included.
Is it Premium Bandai?
Yeah.
Figured. Let's see, the dog tags. They announced those, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they did. And I know some people who want them. I'm not naming who, but I
Yeah,
know they, as well as the plushes from Lupin versus Part that pink that Patarin Sango is obsessed with.
Oh, I didn't hear about the plushes.
Yeah, that's been all over my Twitter feed.
My Twitter feed's been a mixture. It's been terrible.
Excuse me for one moment. Actually, no. I'm gonna stay here and keep doing it. But in other non-Toku stuff that Bandai has announced, Iron Man Mark 7 from the first Avengers movie is getting a figure art. Also, it's also a complete selection modification Digivice is coming.
Oh, did you buy one?
No, I did not. However, this does include like phrases from like the voice actors from Try in Japanese, obviously not English. However, it would have been awesome if they did release it with English voices.
That would be interesting if they would.
And it's called Complete Selection Animation Digivice Try Memorial. And speaking of Digimon products, the Digivolving Spirits Tentomon into Mega Kabuterin 1 is the sixth one, I believe, to be introduced into the Digivolving Spirits line, or the Choshinka line, which means Super Evolving line.
I've always wanted to get a Digivice just for the way it looks.
I want them to release like a CSM DRKK, the Digivice from Tamers, with like a complete set of cards with a natural card reader, so you can actually hear like card slash Metal Garurumon's special attack or something. Right, now we go into the Lego side of things with all the products that they've announced.
Oh boy, Legos.
For example, the Unikitty sets are now available in stores now. And when I mean I totally mean the that show on Cartoon Network, which is good in my opinion.
Oh, you mean the one that's based off that cat character from the Lego movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and Incredibles 2 sets are now coming out into time with the movie.
Yeah, we're
But
old. Incredibles too.
yeah, I can't wait for that movie.
They can't either.
Actually, speaking of Lego, there's a new Lego game coming out this November called Lego DC Villains because my God, we definitely don't have an there's definitely no shortage of there's definitely no end to like the amount of Lego DC games that the Lego games starring DC characters in. But so far we just have a name. Nothing has been announced. We're mostly gonna get like some footage at T3 coming next month.
It
But
actually reminds me of DC. It was I was doing I was doing the shadowing thing for a future job. Looking for the ice cream section of stocking stuff, and they got DC ice cream. Like these carton of ice cream, and it's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman.
mm, the most recent ice cream I had was like Oreo ice cream bars,
Shit, I don't
and
remember
they're
the
really
last
good.
thing of it I've had.
But and then actually, speaking of DC, Titans, that new DC show on their DC app, did, which is the streaming app called DC Universe, and already people and already I don't know what to make of it, and people are just memeing about like, hey, this version of Beast Boy looks like Trip from Time Force and Starfire is nothing because I don't want to be Brit. I don't know.
I've watched a little bit of both Marvel and DC stuff. I've just been so picky about American like superhero stuff because of like because I've been watching more I've watched more Tokusatsu.
Yeah, I haven't gotten the chance to watch anything mostly because I've been working on various things. Hmm. But yeah, the Titans series on on DC's app has 9 episodes. Probably going to be like an hour, 30 to 60 minutes long. I don't know. We just had like some screenshots of it. Then we're moving on to the next topic, with this is something that I actually wanted to mention in last thing because so Josh could laugh at it, but apparently all the major Nick, but nearly all of the major Nick sitcoms are getting whoops. There we go. But as I said, most of the Nick sitcoms are all of the Nick sitcoms are getting cancelled or removed from the network, mostly because either A, they ran on for too long, or B, that thing with a certain creator.
Oh, you talking about shit with Nickelodeon?
Yeah. Nearly all of their sitcoms are getting removed.
Yeah.
Either mostly it's because of technical reasons or they ran on for too long and Nick says, okay, you're too old, we're cancelling you and getting someone else. From what I remembered, yeah, it's half of them that are getting cancelled or ending. What do I think of them? I don't know. Well, I'd say obviously I don't know a lot, but sorry,
You're fine.
but I get tired of the overuse of the laugh track. Like, I've done my homework. Ah, like, come on, can't we have a genuine studio audience?
I mean, that's pretty much what they're trying to do to Power Rangers, I'm pretty sure, with the
Yeah,
laugh track.
because I feel like Ninja Steel is like a Nick sitcom in disguise.
That's my problem.
And it's moving toward, potty humor instead of actual Power Rangers stuff. Hopefully Beast Morphers can rectify it. Since
Well, with
they
the
are
one
tackling
man
a
coming.
much more darker Sentai.
No, I'm pretty sure with Hasbro doing with the Hasbro and their production studios doing the writing stuff, they should be able to do it pretty well. You don't always know what will happen.
I mean, I did say this last time, but they do have Hasbro's TV show. Hasbro's TV thing has a good reputation. I mean, you have the Transformers stuff, even though half of it is good and half of it is not so good. But then you also have the other stuff, which is more towards the stuff which I will not mention because I don't know. Okay, I really need to stop saying that because whenever. But anyway, moving on with another thing. The reboot. If you know what reboot is. Okay, if you don't know, I'll lay it out for you. Reboot was this 90s CGI show where it was a bunch of kids protecting a computer virus from destroying their network. And recently there was this half live action, half CGI reboot of reboots. Well, I'm saying a lot of reboots in a sentence. That recently aired to Netflix, and the reception has been mixed. Actually, negative to mixed. I mean, I've never seen the original, but I don't know.
What shows it?
Reboot, the Guardian Code, the half live action, half CGI continuation of Reboot.
Never seen it.
Anyway, moving on to video games, and boy, do we have a lot of games to talk about because there was a leak that came out on Walmart's website, claiming all these games were pre-order before E3 hit, and my God, are we getting a lot? I mean, there was the Lego one, which I just mentioned, Just Cause 4, which should be interesting. Dragon's Quest 2. Now, I'm thinking that's a technical error because I think they mean Dragon's Quest 12 instead of 2. Because I mean, if it is 2, does it mean it's a remake? I don't know. Also, we have some news about that Final Fantasy VII remake, as it's claimed it's coming out this year. Yay! And they'll keep delaying it until they say until the end of time, the death of the universe, and so on. Same with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Anything but Pokemon?
No, because we haven't had any info about the Pokemon Switch game. But we do have some news for Metroid Prime 4. It's coming out this November, I believe. I mean, I've never played a Metroid game. Okay, funny story. I got 2 years ago, I got a box of random discs, and in there was Metroid Prime. No, not Metroid Prime, but some Metroid Other M. And because it was so bad, I am actually considering cracking it up and putting it on a fire or something.
What was it, like a soccer game or something?
No, Metroid Other M is basically one of the worst games ever.
First Metroid game I think I played was Metroid Prime DS. Yeah, it was more of a demo. It came with like after the DS came out, that was like the demo came with.
I've never played a Metroid game because I'm more used to like the Marios and Zeldas of Nintendo and Splatoon. Oh my god, Splatoon! Splatoon is one of my favorite games of all time, and
Oh, I'm like that too. I'm used to the Marios and the Zeldas and the Pokemon, the Kirby, everything. It's like
yeah,
even the Donkey
yeah,
Kong.
yeah. So we're basically more used to the platformers instead of like the action adventure stuff.
My first full Metroid game I played was the original.
Yeah, I have the original on my mini NES, which I managed to get before they uh, first announced that they were discontinuing them, and then thus they went up in price.
I've only seen one up and close.
Mhm.
I played the SNES one a couple
Um, the um,
times.
the only time the only time I managed to see like a mini NES in stores was when I went to a used electronics store and they had it for like $150.
Was it even in the box?
Yes, it was in the box.
Okay, that's still a little high, but I went to a used game store myself. It had for 130 and didn't even come with the box. It's like you're selling this for 130 and there's no box. Make your mind up.
Mhm.
We were playing the mini SNES and a Christmas and drinking.
But anyway, moving on to a new game, which Borderlands 3 is coming soon. I've never played a Borderlands game, so I don't know what to make of it. I hope. Well, well, I
It's
do
a
know that it has a bunch of people that are in Funimation's acting pool.
I've never played those games either.
Um. Anyway, have you ever played the Little Big Planet series?
I've played the first one. That was a
Well,
it
the
was only
company
10 years
behind
ago.
that game, not Sony, but is game that was the game that they showed off at the 2015 E3 Sony panel is finally getting released. Called Dreams by Molecule. It's a sandbox game where you get to create anything you want using regular items.
I like sandbox games. That's why I have Gmod.
Mhm.
Okay, no, but it's been ages since I've played Little Big Planet. That was back in like 2009.
And plus, they've been and thus there's now three, and I think a fourth one may be coming, like in the next few years. This is just speculation. This isn't official.
I mean, hey, sometimes speculations can be correct.
But anyway, speaking of upcoming games, that new Spider-Man game for PS4 that I really want to get. It's coming out this September and is developed by Insomniac.
I think I heard it. I think I heard about that.
It will most likely get like a huge big trailer, like coming September 7th, 2018, Spider-Man for PS4. Get it now. Pre-order now. And speaking of Insomniac games and one of their creations, the Spyro's got a HD trilogy coming to the PS4. The Spyro Reignited trilogy. So sort of in the same vein of Crash Bandicoot's Insane trilogy, we now got Spyro. So we can now confirm that Skylanders is dead, thank God.
I was never a Skylanders person.
Yeah, me neither. I was more of a Lego Dimensions person because it came with like the whoops.
I was gonna say like Lego Dimensions is actually smart.
Yeah, because who would have thought that we actually got a minifigure of Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw, yeah, and even though it's over and people are like selling it on for like ridiculously cheap, I still don't have the complete collection, even though I have built a display stand for it as like my final college project.
Not entirely a bad idea if it's for a college project.
I mean, I was planning on making it for Amiibo. I was planning it to make it for like various Toku gimmicks like Gasharts or core medals or Astro switches. I don't know if I could do it for Q-Tama. Actually, I could because they're mostly the same things. Because they're all mostly the same mold except for like the Taiyo and the Hikari and Psychor. But getting back onto the video games, a new Fallout game is coming out, Fallout Miami, and it's not a new game. It's a DLC for Fallout 4.
I have to I have to try Fallout eventually.
I mean, it does look interesting. I know a lot of my friends are into it.
Yeah, same here. My brother's into it too.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, God of War that game is now released for PS4. And
I played God of War once.
And I don't know anything about it except those two trailers from the from E3 2016 and 2017. And all I just remember is like the big sea serpent saying, "Who dares disturb something?" Actually, speaking of God of War and speaking of Sony in general, and going back onto the Toys to Life thing, there was this thing called Totaku, which is like Sony's version of Amiibo.
So it's like you said, it was like Sony's their own like amiibos.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that a new Sony Stars thing is a new Sony Stars All Stars Battle Royale and cheese is is gonna come out and use it, because so far we have Sackboy, the Facer FX 350 ship from Wipeout, Crash Bandicoot, Heihachi from Tekken, the Hunter from Bloodborne, Parappa the Rapper, Kratos, and Atreus.
I've always wanted to play Parappa the Rapper.
Yes, hopefully a new game is coming. Actually, did you know that Parappa the Rapper had an anime?
I did hear about that.
Unfortunately, it was Japan only.
Well, like a lot of things, including that Stitch anime.
Yeah, but that also got dubbed, and now there's like a Chinese Lilo and Stitch cartoon. Bless you.
Thank you.
Oh, but coming soon in Totaku, we have the Watcher from Horizon Zero Dawn, Umbrella Lemming from Lemmings. I don't know what Lemming is, so guess what? I'm gonna look that up. Lemmings PS4. It's like some game now, like some obscure game, and I don't know what it is. So sorry. Another ship from Wipeout, as well as Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. Well, the PS. Well, it's more along the lines of the more recent Tomb Raider games instead of like that movie that came out. Oh, I'm sorry. There's actually more stuff. There's Evan from Ni no Kuni 2, which Ni no Kuni games are like great, yet I still haven't played them. I really need to at some point. Sonic from Sonic the Hedgehog, which is kind of confusing because he already has an amiibo. The Gold Hoarder from Sea of Thieves, and Jin Kazama from Tekken 7. But speaking of Sonic, there's a new Sonic fan game out called Sonic Maker, which is along the lines of Mario Maker.
Ooh, I want. Maybe I should download that like right now.
Even though in the first original Sonic the Hedgehog game, if you put in a specific code, you can into debug mode and just do like place anything in the world. I really should show you that video at some point of like that thing that I just mentioned. Anyway, Shark Fu is getting a PS4 thing.
Shackville. Yeah, I found that's the Sonic Maker. I don't know what's worse. Them doing a Shaq Fu or that Night Trap's being released on the Switch.
Actually, speaking of the Switch, South Park, the Fractured Butthole is coming to the Switch.
I heard.
Well, most of this news is like a month old, and so I have to like do it all out. Yeah. And
I think it's good Nintendo is trying to bring more M-rated games to their console for the older gamers.
yeah, my theory is that they didn't know that the Switch was going to be successful, and so they said, "Crap, let's just put all the old Wii U games onto the Switch." So we have like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze
Kind of
coming to the
bugs me
Switch, as
that
well as the many amount of indie titles coming.
there's like a lot of indie titles. It bugs me though that the Virtual Console isn't coming back.
Yeah, I think they're focusing more on the putting all their retro games into like the mini consoles, which makes me hope that hopefully an N64 mini is coming.
More than likely, it will.
Hmm. Yeah, but how many games do you think they're going to be? Like 18 or 15?
Uh, well, realistically, in realistic sense, if people really want, if people really want one, they'll wait. I think because if you think about it, it would make more sense if they took a couple of years into it.
Hmm.
Because if they do that, then the great thing about that would the great thing about them is that they could probably improve like the storage. That see that's something with the first few minis they did. They kind of rushed on them.
Yeah, and they thought it was going to be like a Christmas item, not a huge collector's item.
Right.
And the fact that you need to plug a mini USB thing, people have already like looked hooked ROMs off of various other NES games and even Game Boy original color and advanced games onto it. But actually, speaking of mini consoles, the Commodore 64 now has a mini as well as the Sega Genesis.
If that's interesting how Commodore does.
Yes, and it has 60 games, mainly because. Actually, I don't know if it has 60 games. Let me check. I'm recording. I am recording a video.
I guess that's something that I generally would argue about. You know, if people are impatient about getting these like mini retro like systems out, is just sometimes it's better for them to take their time to make something with more higher capability.
Oh, my mistake. It actually has 64 games. Get it? Because Commodore 64 has 64 games. Yes.
I do get it.
Yes, I do get it. But anyway, let's move on to something that's been bashed in the gaming news. The that Harry Potter app game app thing where you have to pay to wait.
So wait, basically people are paying and they have to wait on something.
No. Let's see. Oh, hmm. No, you either have to pay or wait ridiculous long amounts of loading time. I think the wait or to save a to pay or wait as to save a kid from being strangled. Like you have to wait like almost 2 days for the whole task to be complete. And
Yeah.
and I just and I think you can agree with me, but I don't like microtransactions in video games. And I played the game for like 5 minutes and then got bored of it. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I think we should move on to back to movies because 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 Scary Stories to Tell in Dark by Guillermo del Toro is a thing. And I never read the books but we all know that Guillermo del Toro can do good stuff, right?
What are you talking about?
Scary Stories to Tell in Dark, a film by Guillermo del Toro, which is based off a series of books.
No, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I never heard of it either. And so it's going to be a trilogy of films, which should be interesting. Anyway, moving on to the animated side of things, which is the new with I don't know how to pronounce I don't know where my brain is going. Sorry, but there's this film called The Missing Link by Leica Studios, the same people that brought you Coraline, the Box Trolls, Kubo and Two Strings, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And it says here that The Missing Link follows myths and monsters investigator Sir Lionel Frost, who sets off on an adventure to the Pacific Northwest to prove the existence of the legendary creature Mr. Link. Frost, who's looking to gain acceptance by the small-minded explorer, appears is accompanied on his journey by Adelina Fortnite, a free-spirited independent adventurer who just so happens to possess the only map to their secret destination of trying to find Link. And the people who are in the voice cast is Hugh Jackman, Zach Galifianakis, Stephen Fry, Emma Thompson, as well as people I've never heard of.
Interesting.
Yeah, it certainly does. Anyway, moving on to Jurassic World, think you knew. Anyway, moving on to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is coming out next month. I've never seen a Jurassic movie, so I don't know. I mean, I've seen various clips of it in reviews, and I have played the Lego game of it.
I've seen the first two, and then I've seen part of 3, and I haven't seen any other.
Well, you haven't seen Jurassic World.
Nope.
But are you expecting to see the Jeff? Are you excited to see Jeff Goldblum?
I might see it at some point.
Yeah, me too.
There's like some things I want to see before I see some other things. Catch my drift.
But speaking of still saying in movies, Bill and Ted 3 has been announced.
I'm excited.
I've never seen the original Bill and Ted movie, so
The original is amazing.
all I know from it is that Keanu Reeves is in it, and that's pretty much all I know.
P.S. Happy birthday to George Carlin, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Today's his birthday. No, it's a great movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. Do you know the plot of it? Cameron.
Yes.
Do you know the plot of Bill and Ted?
Yeah, to save the future, they have to go into the past.
Yeah, pretty much. They'll basically save the future from military school and flunking. They have to keep their band together.
Mm-hmm.
That's where George Carlin comes in.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to our final movie topic for today, Rampage. That film which is based off a video game starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I mean,
I still don't get why they would make a video game out of an ape destroying buildings.
yeah, no, it doesn't make any sense. At least when they did the Pac-Man thing for the XA Generations, the first one,
Yeah.
at least it made some sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to see another film, I mean, if you want to see a much better film with Dwayne, I mean, if you want to see another film with The Rock and apes, just watch Jumanji: Welcome to Jungle, which the third one got announced recently.
I heard the second one takes place after the first.
Yeah, that's true.
Which once I had read about the plot, I didn't have much hate towards it as much. It seemed more I'd say a fresher concept. This is the problem with a lot of reboots or any like revamps is that they do the same thing. At least with that movie, it was more about trying to make the board game into a video game to appeal to his son.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Rampage just seems a little tacky.
Anyway, moving on to our next and we're gonna be going back into the world of and we're gonna go into the world of the Super Mini Plus stuff. You know, those mini model
Yes, the
kits
comic
where
book
they
store
already
had
did the Megazord, Dragon Zord, Titanus, Live Man Mecha.
Live Men.
And now they're planning on doing Kaka Ranger.
I heard.
Well, guess what? They've also got the original Voltron,
That sounds interesting.
as well as the ride armor from Mega Man 2. Mm.
I want to get some of those miniature Megazords at some point.
Yeah, I really want. I think I might know the reason why they doing Kaka Ranger. I think they saw that Bandai of America skipped Legacy Shogun Megazord, and so they said, "Don't worry, we got your back. It may not be a Legacy quality, but at least this one is at least affordable." I
I'm
think
still
the
upset
asking
about
price for it
that.
is like $30,
Hmm, not bad.
and plus it does have articulation.
I'm upset though about the whole Legacy Shogun Megazord not happening because that would have been a great piece.
Mm.
Well, I would have had, I would have been a little concerned because I mean, you saw what happened with Thunder Megazord, and then what happened with well, not Dixie Techers, but it was more Thunder Megazord. You knew what happened there.
New. The neck not being strong enough.
Well, it was more of between there was the leaning problem, and then there was the Firebird's wings, which were another problem. The Firebird was one of the weakest in quality. Like I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to replace it. The wings are so puny on that thing, like they're not even sturdy.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
And it's I can't stress enough. I love the concept, just didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've seen online that the Legacy Dragon Lord is like going for like half the original retail price for like $40.
I love the Legacy Dragon Zord. That's like the best Legacy item that they'd released in like Zord wise. Do you bless you? Do you have a Dragon Zord?
No, I don't. I only have the original Legacy Morpher and the original Legacy Megazord.
Original release?
Yes,
Uh,
with
I'm
like
on that too.
the weak legs.
Yeah, I've noticed that that was a problem too. Dragon Zord, it's worth the money.
Hmm. Especially people are offering it still new in the box.
That thing weighs a ton.
Yes, I know.
Interchangeable hands, the paint, oh, the diecast,
The tail.
poses. You know, the tail's amazing on that thing. There's one complaint I have. Well, two. It's when you're forming
The Mega
uh,
Dragon Zord.
the bigger dragon sword that the legs kind of have a problem with holding together the plastic pieces.
Hmm.
And then it's a stand he uses for it's like huge drill like this drill sword thing. Like the stand for it is not entirely proportioned properly.
Hmm. Yeah, but other than that, I do have like a few of the Legacy collection figures as well as like as well as the Legacy Lord Zed and Legacy White Ranger from the Mighty Morphin movie.
Yeah, I never bought those. I probably should have.
They now have them at Barnes and Nobles for like $15.
Yeah, my Barnes and Nobles had them. I had a chance to buy the communicators and it was the communicators, it was Saba, and then it was the Ninja Megazord and the coin set. I had a chance to buy all those. Being me, I hid them away. I came back 2 months later. They were gone.
Yeah, I had the same chance to buy the communicator. It was like sitting there, $25, and then I never went to a Toys R Us ever since because I was mainly buying a PS4 that day.
Hey, sometimes those choices are hard. I walked off that day with the Legacy helmet, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Wait, which Legacy helmet?
The red one.
The Mighty Morphin one?
Yes. It's a great piece.
Anyway, moving on to the cartoons, and we did have some new ones, new news that came out from it. For example, Final Space on NBC is getting a second season.
That's nice.
I mean, I watched like 1 minute of it, and then I never looked back on it. Not because it was boring. Bless you.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have some many people in the voice acting industry that are really good. I really should watch it since it's amazing.
Ooh.
No, it's not NBC, it's TBS.
I need to open Steam. I just found some mod packs for Digimon for Gmod.
Okay. Anyway, Subway Surfers, that mobile game where it's like Temple Run, that's getting a cartoon for some reason.
You got any Bleach Cam? I think I've heard too much. No, literally though, Subway Surfer doesn't need a cartoon.
Yeah. And again, it's kind of like that thing where like making random video games and then giving it a story. I mean, Subway Surfers is just a thing where you just swipe left and right to avoid obstacles, kind of like Temple Run. I don't know why you would give it a story.
I mean, that's like Angry Birds.
And yet, for some reason, we both have a cartoon and a movie.
I mean, like, see, like Sonic the Hedgehog works because, like, you get the comics. Even though mainly it is video games, you still have the comics, so you can work something off with the comics and make something of it.
Actually, speaking of video games turning into cartoons, Mega Man 2018, that Mega Man cartoon coming out this year has a title called Mega Man Fully Charged.
You must be fully charged.
I mean, haven't you even seen the design?
No.
Okay, I'll read you the synopsis because it's so far from the original. They made him into like a Power Ranger or some type.
This is American, right?
Well, it's American and Canadian with some Japanese. And it's being written and it's being made by the people who are in charge of the who are in charge of the current Marvel animated stuff on Disney.
Okay, I mean, I don't see how bad that could be. But I haven't heard terrible things about a lot of those cartoons.
Okay, here's the synopsis. Aki Lies is a regular upbeat robot schoolboy. He lives in the futuristic world of Silicon City, co-inhabited by robots and humans, but this robot boy has a secret deep within his programming live protocols that can transform into the powerful hero Mega Man. And when the villainous Sergeant Knight, see, it's not even Dr. Wily who's in this reboot, it's Sergeant Knight and his evil team of robot masters emerge with ill intentions. Mega Man dedicates himself to protect the citizens of Silicon City, equipped with his Mega Buster arm cannon, and the ability to absorb the powers of his opponents. Okay, so they kept that bit from the cartoon, from the video game. He bravely battles the wickedness of the villains in this new series, inspired by the iconic Mega Man video games. Comical, action-packed adventures abound. We follow the journey of Vacuum Light and his alter ego Mega Man as he strives to balance life as an ordinary robot and an amazing superhero. The original Mega Man did not have this thing. He was merely built just to. He was merely built just as Mega Man, just to fight him. Just fight Dr. Wily and his 8 evil robot masters.
I get what you mean. I mean, I can like some things are just aren't entirely meant
To
to go past.
to be adapted. I mean, some other alternate tellings of Mega Man have worked. For example, the NT Warrior or Battle Network series and Star Force series, which were both good, as they both as the games ditched themselves from the platforming genre in favor of in turn-based RPGs.
Of that.
And actually, also speaking of Mega Man, Mega Man X is has a legacy collection coming to the Switch.
See, that's not a bad idea. The Mega Man X games are pretty good.
Yeah, actually, 2 legacy collections. So it's like 1 to 8, 1 to 4 on the first one, and then 5 to 8 on the second one.
Not bad.
I hope they actually keep the like the original dialogue of "What am I fighting for?"
That's interesting.
But speaking of but keeping in the realm of cartoons, Rick and Morty has been renewed for 70 episodes.
Yay, more Rick and Morty.
I mean, I enjoy the cartoon just as what it is, but I really don't like what the internet has done with it, as they memed it with a ton of pickle Ricks.
You mean like Pickle Rick and Larry the Cucumber making out?
Okay, we're gonna try and keep this something PG for. Whoops.
No, I'm just being sarcastic here. I'm not going to go any farther.
Yeah, but 70 episodes, that's more than what we already have, which let's see. Yeah, we already have 31, and they want 70 episodes. And I thought, and I read in another news article that the creators were physically tired of producing it because of the legion of fans screaming memes and the fact that they have influenced the Szechuan sauce incident, which already just tastes like a tangy barbecue.
Do you actually know the full story of the situation with the Pickle Rick thing at McDonald's?
Don't you mean the Szechuan sauce? Yes, I've already seen the many videos of like people outside saying, "What do you want the sauce?" and stuff.
Oh no, I'm talking about the one where that guy gets on top of the
Oh yeah,
top
I've
of the
already seen that
register.
clip.
Did you ever watch the video of him explaining why he did it?
Yeah, because he's so eager to get the sauce.
No, he did it to I think he did like to try to set an example of the Rick and Morty fan base.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't remember the full story. I remember him just talking about doing it to try to
Set an example.
Yeah, set an example. That was what he said.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and moving on to our next topic, a new Star Wars cartoon has been announced, called Star Wars Resistance, which takes place before The Force Awakens, and it's going to be anime inspired. So, but it is still created by the same guys that made the Clone Wars and Rebels, and and it and so far the main villain of the story of this series is going to be Captain Phasma. So hopefully we're gonna get more backstory to her.
Yeah, I
And
have
it's
no idea who these characters are.
okay, the Silver Stormtrooper, but it's gonna be anime inspired. I mean, we already do have a Star Wars series called Forces of Destiny, which is focusing on the female protagonists of each era.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Not a bad concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because apparently Disney wants to make every single female and to and this is the thing that I joked back in high school. Apparently they want to make all the apparently Princess Leia is now officially a Disney princess.
I mean, hey, if they're part of the Disney brand,
Yes.
you know.
Anyway, moving on to our my recap of the thing, and I didn't watch any of the cartoons, even though I did have the time to watch it. I still kept getting distracted by so many things. I mean, some of them are good. All I can just say is that some of them were good, even though I haven't seen any of them. But one of Nickelodeon's cartoon was aired like a new episode every day, even though it only then before then it even though it aired 9 episodes in like 17 times throughout since July of last year. Apparently they want to, and already they do have a series and season 2 coming soon. It's I mean, I have watched it. It is a good show, but I haven't seen new episodes, so stuff happens. That's all I can just say. And then we also have shows where I just randomly saw clips on YouTube like OKKO where it's like they did a self-aware episode where they say, "Hey, we're actually in a cartoon," and it's like, and then I made a joke on it joke about it on Twitter, and it's like this is reaching like Sonic Boom or Amazing World of Gumball and like levels of self-awareness.
And you know, Gumball did it really well.
The fan fiction episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we have a Gumball movie coming out next year, possibly.
Woohoo.
Now I want to talk about DreamWorks some reason. Well, I actually now have to because it's in the Google Doc. Most of their lineup for their movies is basically sequels to already. So we have How to Train Your Dragon 3, Trolls 2, Crudes 2, Boss Baby 2, but there's Shrek 5, Madagascar 4. I don't know why doing it. Mainly because it makes money.
We need more money.
Don't you mean money? I wish I had the money guy memory.
I think we all do.
Actually, they actually did release in the complete selection of guy memories. They did release a coin memory, which is literally a coin with like the memory stick. Actually, they have a actually. This is the best example I could do. Imagine this, but with like the money dopant symbol, and like.
Sounds interesting. Oh, wait. Nope. 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 Everyone's coming out.
But they also have a Voltron movie coming in the upcoming future, which should be interesting. I don't know if it's going to continue on from Legendary Defender or if they're going to reboot the whole franchise again. But all we know about it is that David Hayter, aka the voice actor for Solid Snake from Metal Gear, is directing it or writing it. I don't know. And they have an upcoming movie about yokai, not Yokai Watch, but about Japanese demons and stuff called Yokai Samba. So already I'm excited about that.
Oh no, it's the yokais. Here, do you have a shuriken?
No, this isn't a ninja.
Let's be those terrible ninjas that say that they party all day.
But
okay.
I'm just going through like the listing. Anyway, we already a Rocky and Bullwinkle reboot has came out yesterday.
Hey, Bullwinkle. I have barely watched Rocky and Bullwinkle.
It's a reboot made by the same people that made the Mr. Peabody and Sherman show on Netflix.
I heard about that.
Well, it uses the same animation style. Oh. Sorry about that. I just realized something. But we also have a Mr. Magoo reboot, a Fast and Furious reboot. Thank God they're just rebooting everything in DreamWorks.
Fast and the Furious is kind of overrated.
Yeah, and all of it is like they have, and already we have like another Kung Fu Panda series coming coming to Amazon. Are you really kidding me? Also, the follow-up to Troll Hunters 3 Below is, as well as a Captain Underpants web series, as well as a She-Ra reboot, a Where's Waldo reboot, and Bearbrick, which if you don't know, they just basically took. It's basically Lego minifigures, but in the shape of but with like a bear head on it. I mean,
I don't see how Where's Waldo can be a show.
it already was a show in like the 90s. Um, is there any? Oh yeah. This is something that's really surprised me. Apparently, actually no, I shouldn't talk about it all. Wait. Um. Um. mm, mm. I'm trying to think of I guess we can talk about more. Whoops. There I do. Hang on, let me check if the song. No, it isn't. Oh, sorry, I'm like dealing with like so many issues.
It's fine.
There, did I fix it? Yeah, I did. Anyway, Professor Layton is getting an anime.
I would like to see them try to do another Thundercats anime.
Yeah, because like the Thundercats 2011 series was good, but they cancelled it because they didn't sell enough toys.
I heard great things about it, though.
And yet they rebooted it in Lego form as Legends of Chima. It's like literally the same plot. It's not a reboot, but it's a repackaging. I mean, you have the main character, which are lions, and you have lizard people, but it's mostly just to sell their Lego toys. But the Layton anime is based off the more recent one where it follows the daughter of Professor Layton. My experience with Professor Layton is that I only had the first game and I got bored of it. Have you played any of the games?
No, I have not.
However, there was an anime film that was released in like 2010 based off. No, it wasn't based off the thing. It was No, it was an original film. Already, I have found that solution. Anyway, there was a crossover with Phoenix Wright.
Was there?
Yes. And you can swap between either the Phoenix Layton Professor Layton style or the Phoenix Wright style. But anyway, I'm talking. I'm thinking. But anyway, an anime that I did watch like in 2012 is rebooting, even though it should be on its like third series if it wants to copy Yu-Gi-Oh! Card Fight Vanguard. It's basically a more simplified version of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah, but they just finished their equivalent of GX, and I don't know why they decided to reboot to. Apparently, it's going to be more faithful to the manga, so apparently it's like Sailor Moon Crystal.
I've only seen a couple episodes of the original Sailor Moon, and that's about it.
Did you watch subbed the Canadian dub with like the Sailor Says and the cheesy 90s dialogue, or the Viz dub where it's more faithful to the original?
But I what?
Which version of Sailor Moon did you watch? Sub Canadian dub or Viz dub?
I saw the original dub and then the subs.
Wait, was the dub from the 90s and had the
Yeah.
PSAs at the end? Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And now we're gonna get into something controversial. Sword Art Online alternative. Basically, it's about some people playing VR games, and that's pretty much all you need to know. Apparently, and it's some like really bad. Its reception is like really bad. And I can't find any. Apparently, it takes place within. It takes the tells the alternate perspective in like the third game, which is a third-person shooter. No, first-person shooter, and it's all about gun fair and stuff. But that's pretty much all I know since I've only seen like 4 episodes of the first season. All you just need to know is that the first the first half of the first season was good, and then everything just falls after that. And hey, we've actually come full circle because we're actually going to be talking about Gegege no Kitaro, the recent reboot, and and spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it. And hey, we actually do have someone in chat. Yay! It only took us like until like 5 minutes left. Wait, hang on. Yep. Right. But the first episode has a person going like, "Hey everyone, I'm gonna play in front of the street. Hey, you're all worthless." And then he turns into like and then his body metamorphs into a tree. Not like Flash, he's a tree. I mean, he goes for a painful transformation, and then everyone just gets out their phones, and they're all turning into trees, only for the purpose of instant fame.
Only for the purpose of what?
Only for the fame, but yeah, apparently the and that's all I know about it. And that and the show is really good. I mean, it's been around for like 50 years with like hang on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 incarnations of anime and only one like No, seven incarnations if you include the film version. Oh.
I was supposed to continue with Sailor Moon, but I didn't.
I was supposed to uh, I don't know either. But I don't know what to play. I don't know what to. And going towards another thing for another reboot was what I meant to say. Cutie Honey Universe. It's a reboot. It's a reboot of the 70s anime made by Go Nagai, who also made Devilman, Mazinger Z, and Majoko. No, not Majoko. It's I'm gonna.
I've heard of Devilman.
Yeah, have you watched Devilman Crybaby?
I haven't watched it, but I know about it.
Yeah, it's mate. I just realized that 2000 this year is supposed to be like the 50th anniversary of like all of Go Nagai's works on what, because we've already had Devilman Crybaby, Cutie Honey Universe, and Mazinger Z is supposed to get like a new reboot of this year. Let me check. Yeah, it already had a movie, Mazinger Z Infinity. Or Mugen or Infinity, please. So where's my Dorodon Enma Kun, which is about a witch who fights off demons? But Cutie Honey did get adapted into two Toku things. There was the 2007 series that has Kaiser and Mark Musashi in it, and the 2004 Toku film, which I don't know anything about except for various clips. That's new, and we just hit the 2 hour mark, which means I think we're gonna wrap this up. So thank you for coming on to my podcast, Jake.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I couldn't bring things to the table exactly to give to the viewers. I mean, it's been kind of a rough week and a half. I'm gonna try to get some videos up eventually.
And I'm sorry if I was like going like, oh, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because I'm mainly
Hey,
unprofessional and
you know
stuff.
what matters is that we were able to keep us going. We just talked about whatever we had to talk about. That is the important part. We just didn't let the silence get to us. So
Yeah, and plus we managed to shoot out a bunch of topics in like this episode, so maybe next episode may be a bit shorter.
that's true.
Yeah, but thank you, and for everyone who's still watching this on the archive, good night and farewell.